if the mom of the home, right, is empowered, how is the rest of the family going to be? How are those kids going to be when that mom has empowerment? She knows her rights. She knows how to advocate for her kids, right? When she knows how to handle situations and help her husband in that way, bring some extra money her way, bring the confidence up. That's a happy home. So by focusing on women, and I identify with them, I'm a woman, Hispanic, woman, and in this beautiful country that gives us so much. And I'm like, we have a lot that we can offer. We have a lot that we can learn. So that's, for me, the women is my niche.
Yeah. Have you ever wondered how to grow your business as a network marketer? I have thought that, and I have somebody really exciting with me today. Elsie Mendez is joining me, and she is amazing when it comes to empowering women and in network marketing. So Elsie, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Deanna. I really appreciate this opportunity to share.
You are so welcome. I appreciate you coming on today. This is so much fun. Now, I met you during a chamber networking events and pretty much all over the community here in Florida. And you are just so full of energy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to share this chick with everybody else because you're just fun to be around. You really, really are. And you know what? You take your business seriously. That's obvious. When you meet Elsie, if you get the opportunity to meet Elsie, you know she's about business. But there is this fun, warm, just vibrant personality that makes you want to like just be part of her business too. So it's I'm so excited to have you here. Now you started with LegalShield. And that is the company that you're with and that you represent. You started with them 4 years ago, and you've already reached the level of bronze executive director. Congratulations with that.
Thank you. Yep.
You're welcome. I want to find out, for somebody who's listening, they may not have ever heard of LegalShield, or maybe they heard of LegalShield, but they're not sure what it is. Can you explain what LegalShield is?
Yes, for sure. So the company's been around for over 50 years. It actually now is PPLSI, which comes from, originally was prepaid legal. And now the two services that we offer are LegalShield and ID Shield. So that's why people are used to hearing LegalShield, for those that have heard that. Basically, it's an empowerment. I mean, now they're apps. It wasn't back then, but now they're apps where people can have access to an entire nationwide law firm, Deanna. And ID Shield, it's also in the palm of your hands. And there are some other companies out there that provide that type of protection. So we empower people with legal protection and identity theft protection. Those are the two main services that we offer at PPLSI.
It really is such a great concept. And I'm a client. I believe in PPLSI. It is really comforting. There's a peace to having that, knowing that component of your business, for me, business and family, I have both of them, a client on both ends, is taken care of if you need it. So that's really awesome. And you've been on there for 4 years. And how big is your team? What exactly does bronze level mean?
So when bronze level just means that you have somebody who is in your team who has reached the executive director level. It's like the top level in the compensation plan. And then you can just keep excelling from that point. So that's like the top in the pay. But then you can, when somebody on your team reaches that level, now you're a bronze. So I was able to get a team member to the executive director level, which is the top a scale on that. Amazing woman on my team. So, in network marketing, anyone out there who understands network marketing knows that you can have a lot of people. Not everyone is a producer. So I'm just putting it out there. Okay, this is really a numbers game. It's just some people are at different points in their life, and they come in and they just do it as a really, really side gig, where if they know someone that needs it, they'll just, tell them about it. So obviously those are not going to be big producers, right? And some people get discouraged because they don't know, they don't tap into the secret, I would say, to making this successful. I love it. I don't know if you know, I think we've talked about it. I had businesses before. So I've had the brick and mortar. Okay. I had a bakery business for 9 years in DeLand. So I know what it's like to
wow.
have. Yes, I did. Right in DeLand, Elsie's Bakery. Yeah. In Florida. So I know what it is to have the payroll and have the overhead and have the rent and, all that and what it takes. And that sometimes, everyone gets paid and you go home without any money that week because of how sales were. So I understand that side. And I also had a home staging business when I started getting into real estate investment. So I come with that knowledge. And then I was 25 years in education and worked for the county, Volusia County Public Schools. I was able to get to assistant principal. So I've seen that side of just, working for the government and how steady that feels, right? So I relate to people in that. But here with network marketing, it's amazing. I fell in love with it the moment I came. I'm like, why didn't I find out about this sooner? Because there's leveraged income, there's residual income, there's so much that you can do. And there are books out there, by people just talking about what are the benefits of having some type of network marketing business as a side. Some people can continue with their passion. Doesn't mean you have to leave something that you're doing, but just a way of supplementing your income, especially in today's economy. And we don't know what's coming up this year, this new year.
No, we don't. Yeah. So you mentioned how sometimes people can get discouraged and frustrating.
Mhm.
And when did you first feel successful in this? Did you ever, I guess it's a twofold question. Did you ever feel like, can I really do this? And when did that pass where you're like,
You get
yes,
those
I
moments.
can?
I think from the beginning, I tell you what, and that's why I say, I think it's not for everybody, but from the moment that my husband and I, because my husband and I started this together, we started hitting the ranks from the get-go. I mean, we got the concept. We were like, we loved it because we had businesses, we understood,
Right.
and we just started growing it that way. So the belief has always been there. I think it's Deanna, you have to love the product and your company. There's a lot of people out there that they have a product base, creams, lotions, things like that, which are great companies. So you have to really believe in it. Really, really, really believe in it.
Right. You do. I agree.
And that's my thing. Because I've had businesses and I've paid the lawyers and I've had issues and, not in the sense of criminal, but just, things that happen.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
I needed it in the past. I didn't have it. So coming across and saying, are you for real? You're telling me that for just about $1 a day, I can have legal protection and my identity and all that. So that was, to me, I believed in the cost. And just for so many years hearing people, their story and saying, I'm unable to get access to lawyers or taken advantage of, it really empowers me to know that I can help people.
So you pretty much believed the whole time you could do it because you believed in the product right out of the gate. So you really didn't deal with any of that. Is it even possible? So your mindset was set up for success.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
from
I've
the
had
booth.
from the beginning to be able to replace a salary from the get-go and earn trips and all that. I think to me, people don't realize you're gonna put that much effort anyway. And if you want to start your own business, I had to invest in both businesses. It was about $50,000 investments, and you don't know if you're going to get that money, back. So the investment to start a network marketing is less. So
much less.
The risk is smaller. So what do you have to lose? And I am talking for all my company out there, all my networkers out there that know there's companies out there that are really good. So I would say do an investigation to see is your company do they offer, are they behind, right? That promise that they make, that's very important.
Right.
And then you have to make sure that you're part of a good team. So if you're not sure, just talk to me. But the other thing is really having support, honestly, Deanna, because I did have support. I had great, sponsors, mentor that are always there willing to help me and guide me and encourage me. That's important.
That is very important, and I'm glad that you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
To grow your business, any business, right? But of course, we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about network marketing. To grow it, you have to talk about it. And I see you doing that all the time. You talk about it, but you don't talk about it in a pushy way. You're just always just planting seeds. And that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
my version of like you drop little nuggets around so people are
Mm-hmm.
aware of what you do.
Yeah.
And when the time is right, then they grow, right? Then they're aware of your brand. But there's a routine. There's something that's
Mm-hmm.
not by accident. That's
Mm-hmm.
strategic on your part. So, what does your daily routine look like? Do you
Mm-hmm.
try to approach so many people, or do you
Mm-hmm.
have goals that are set on what you need to do, whether daily or weekly?
Yes. So I start my day. So I set my goals where I say I need to, let's say, contact or make 10 new friends, whether it's on my social media, right? Or go to a meeting and come out of there with 2 business cards that I'm going to follow up with. So I do have very concrete numbers that depending on my goal, it may be more aggressive or less depending on, what's going on with my agenda. And I teach my team to do that, the same thing. So we're always wanting to add people on Facebook and social media. We always want to go to networking events if we're able to. That's the other thing. I'm a full timer. Some people on my team do this as a side thing. So they may only have 1 or 2 hours a day or even less than that. So we create a plan for them. But definitely is setting the goals so that they know how many contacts they have to make and how many people have to, view our information, which is what, and I think it's the education in me, Deanna. I really think it's just, I just want people to see the information. I'm like, take a look at this, right? And it either makes sense or it doesn't. I'm telling you, it's just like they just need to see it. And that's what we have to do. I cannot sell you on anything that's not gonna, you're not gonna see it. Either people will or will not. And I think that's the mentality that helps me to keep going. But my job is to make sure that you see it. Ask you, hey, you're willing to look at this information? And it may not be for you, it may be for you, and then move on.
Yeah. I
That's
think
key.
what you just described is it's also a little bit of mental protection because it's hard to hear no. We feel rejected. And that's usually the reason people don't talk about it is there's a fear of
Mhm.
rejection. But what you just said is really like this aha moment where, you know what, I just present the information and they either see it or they don't. So if they
Mhm.
don't see it, that's not a reflection on you. It's just that this isn't something that's jumping out at them in their life right now. They
Right.
don't recognize the need. Right. That can change.
Because it does change. Yeah. And I've had people that even in my 4 years, I've had people that come back after, like now, maybe, 3, 4 years later, and they'll say, are you still, with that? Or can you tell me
Yeah.
about it? So that's the other thing. And it happens to us. Think about how many stores do we go by every day and you see the signs, and in your mind, you're like, I need to stop in there.
Yeah.
Someday. And then someday you actually do, right? If you walk by, do they close the doors and say, okay, Elsie didn't stop in to Visa, we're just going to shut down? No, they keep it open because other people will come in. Eventually, Elsie will stop in if it's for her, right? And that's the thing.
Right.
Some people in network marketing, the mindset is not developed to the point where they can understand that. So they give up when one person says no, and they don't realize there are millions of people out there that you have not talked to about your services or products or whatever. And this is for any business, Deanna. I mean, this is for anything. Right?
Absolutely.
This is for anything. But we just have a different model, a different business model. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what is one habit you believe has helped you become successful?
Okay, so and this is exciting because these are the kind of things that I want to develop. I really want people to know this to the point where I've kind of told you I'm working on a book because I want to help
Yes.
people to understand and get to that point, right? So what are some things that I do? I create daily lists. I don't start my day, and it's not just an agenda of appointments because those are things you have to do. My thing is targets that I have. So for instance, if I say I have to call 10 people, I will tally the 10, and at the end of the day I can say I only got to 8. I didn't meet my 10. I won't go to sleep until I get those, right? So lists are important. Affirmations, huge. Affirmations are strong. I change them every time I reach an affirmation. I've gotten that goal, they come out of my list, but I always create new affirmations, right? So that's that. I can do this. I believe in myself, that kind of situation. So, and then staying connected to my company. So all of your companies out there, And if you don't have one, like I said, find yourself one or call me. But every company has their calls or team motivation or trainings. You need to stay connected to that. And for some reason, people lose that when they have network marketers tend to lose that. When you're in a job and you have to go to meetings, you don't say no, right? The boss says you have to be at the morning meetings, you're there. For some reason, now when we have our own business and it's like the company says, hey, you can join because it's not mandatory, right? You're your own business owner, join to our calls. People are like, well, yeah, maybe not. And that's what you miss out. So you have to stay connected to your company to know what's going on and all the incentives and stay motivated, because that's like your clique, right? That's your group.
It is. And that's so true. We don't always show up to things that we should be showing up to. And we know that we should be showing up to when you're your own business. But that is a huge differentiator between those who are successful and those who are not.
And
having
personal
your own business
development. And personal development is the other thing.
Yeah. You have an announcement, and we're actually recording this ahead of time, but by the time this airs, everybody's going to know your announcement. So I'm kind of getting a peek at it, but everybody's going to know at that point, but we want to hear about it. You have something really big happening soon. And what is it?
Okay. So for the last 4 years, and Deanna, you know me as Elsie of PPLSI or LegalShield back then, right? So it was the brand, the company that I represent. And I've grown beyond that point where it's like, that's not what makes me. I'm Elsie Mendez, and I want people to follow me and like me and be a part of my life outside of that company, because I do other things. So it just dawned on me that I'm at the point now that I'm rebranding. So I'm going to be rebranding with the name that my company is going to have, all the services and things that I'm going to offer under that. There's a book in the works. So a lot happening. So when people see me, it's not just that, my own colors, my own logo, everything. So I am just so excited, and I'm still PPLSI, but that's just one of the things I do. It's not who I am. So that's what I want. And that's the empowerment that I want to see in women to do with their lives. It's not a company. That doesn't define you, and that's where I'm at.
I am so excited for that, because you're pulling everything that you've created into one brand, which is totally my jam. I love it. And because you are so many different things to different people. And I mean, you are the network marketer, you are the LegalShield girl, you are the mentor, you represent your brand. And it's really exciting to say, you know what? I'm creating something new with my own colors and logos and all this information, and writing a book, which is super cool. And your biggest goal is to empower women.
Yes.
And why do you think empowering women is so important?
Okay, Deanna, we know that the women, we are the center of the home, the nucleus of the home. Honestly, it revolves. If the mom of the home, right, is empowered, how is the rest of the family going to be? How are those kids going to be when that mom has empowerment? She knows her rights. She knows how to advocate for her kids, right? When she knows how to handle situations and help her husband in that way, bring some extra money her way, bring the confidence up. That's a happy home. So by focusing on women, and I identify with them, I'm a woman, Hispanic, woman, and in this beautiful country that gives us so much. And I'm like, we have a lot that we can offer. We have a lot that we can learn. So that's, for me, the women is my niche. That's who I want to work with. Yeah.
Yes. And I love working with women as well. That's always been my niche. And it is fun, because when you see a woman change their life, and what I mean by that is they find that freedom. And by freedom, I don't mean, it can be anything, with the freedom, financial freedom. For me, it's the freedom of time, which is what I strive for, right? Now, of course, the financial freedom gives you more time, but it's this trickle effect, right? The freedom to do what you want to do and how you want to do it, and to live your best life. When they reach that, it is so exciting to witness, because you're right. It impacts everybody around them in their home and their friends
Yeah.
It trickles out beyond the home as well. So I have one more question to ask you. If you had to start all over
Hmm.
and you didn't know anybody, because everybody knows Elsie Mendez around here.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because you make yourself known, right? You're doing what but if you didn't know anyone and you were starting to get into a network marketing business,
Hmm.
what would be the first thing that you would grow your business from complete scratch?
If I didn't know anyone, so I
You
move
didn't
into
know
a new
anybody.
city.
New
Okay.
town.
New town. Okay. Because I am a networker, I would go to the chamber, whatever chamber of commerce. I'm very big into my support so many chamber of commerce. I would go into BNI, right? Business Networking International, which is another networking organization. So if I could physically go to them, then I would go in person and find out, because the influencers are there, the movers and shakers are in those chambers. A big secret, that's a lot of my team comes from those places. So because they're business minded, right? If I could physically. Now, if I was at home, I'm confined. Like during COVID, one of my best months in COVID was March, when it just started. Amazing, amazing. Okay. And what did I do is now my opportunity became the social media platform. So I had enough time to go in there and start connecting with people. And with my company being nationwide, I can connect with people anywhere in the United States and build friendships and then do it that way. So there's no reason that if you don't know anyone, okay, unless you are caged and you don't have a phone with you, you can meet people, right? We go to the stores locally. I'll be honest with you, I'm not one to pop. I'm really an introvert. I've learned how to talk to people and be out of my comfort zone, right? But really, I've been an introvert most of my life. So I won't walk up to strangers. Like some people can just strike up a conversation and, we're trained to do that. I don't feel comfortable. I need to build a relationship. I really do. So that's why I have to go to networking events. And in social media, the same thing. It's going to take time for me to say, hey, I'd like to be a friend. Let's talk, meet virtually to get to know each other. But that's basically it. You're going to have to find people. So it's not, if I didn't know anyone, that's what's going to happen. I could do it anywhere. Especially with these.
I have no doubts.
Yes, I can go to any place, and really any place in the world with the way we are,
Right.
and just find your local areas and build from where you're at. So it's that freeing, liberating.
Yeah, and I will testify to what you just said. When I moved to DeLand, I didn't know anybody. And a lot of people meet people through their kids because their kids are in school, or
Mhm.
they're involved in different activities, or they have a 9-to-5 job. They meet
Right.
people at work. I had
Mhm.
neither one of those. My kids are grown and they're not down here with me, and I don't have a 9-to-5. So I had to get out and go to, and a chamber was the first thing I joined.
Mhm.
And it's showing up and it's making those connections, and the chamber
Mhm.
is a great resource. So
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%, Elsie. On that.
That's
That
how we
does
get
work.
along. Yeah.
Exactly. I want to thank you for joining me today. For anybody listening in, all of Elsie's information is going to be in the show notes. You can take a look. The links to her website, to her social media profiles are below, and reach out to her, connect to her if you've got questions for Elsie or want to learn more about her business, her company. Don't hesitate to reach out. I can guarantee she's going to respond in a warm and friendly way. But Elsie, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you, Deanna, for having me. And I can't wait to get back on when I have everything out right after the rebrand and all.
Yes.
So
Oh my
exciting.
gosh, we're going to have you on, and we could have a conversation of that rebrand
Yeah.
and the scariness, the excitement, and all the
Mhm.
emotions that go into
Yes,
creating a new brand. So
for sure.
that's a date. Definitely. We'll do
Yeah.
that.
Thank
All right.
you.
We'll see everybody. Bye.
Bye.